The day my baby shower turned into a reality TV show drama. Hey everyone, you won't believe what I'm about to tell you. Picture this, pink balloons floating everywhere, beautiful decorations, happy faces all around, and then bam, my mother-in-law Barbara decides to turn my baby shower into something straight out of The Real Housewives. If you've ever wondered what happens when you mix pregnancy hormones, a controlling mother-in-law, and a room full of shocked witnesses, well, stick around. Trust me, this story is wilder than your favorite reality TV show drama. And the best part? Every single word is true. For those who don't know me, I'm Sarah, and at 29, I thought I had this whole pregnancy thing figured out. You know, doing everything by the book, following doctor's orders, and trying to be the responsible mom to be. Like most expecting parents, my husband Tom and I decided to wait until after the first trimester to share our exciting news. It's pretty standard practice, right? Well, apparently not in the eyes of my mother-in-law Barbara, who took this completely normal decision as a personal attack on her grandmotherly rights. My husband Tom and I decided to wait until after the first trimester to share our exciting news with everyone. We were thrilled to be expecting, but we wanted to make sure the little bun in the oven was safely nestled in before we started party planning. It was a completely normal decision, right? Well, apparently not in the eyes of Barbara, who took this completely normal decision as a personal attack on her grandmotherly rights. It was a moment I'll never forget. The day we broke the news to Barbara that we were expecting a baby. I was expecting a mix of excitement and congratulations, but what I got was a side-eye that could freeze water at 50 yards and a tongue lashing that left me speechless. "You should have told me first," she said, her voice dripping with hurt. "I feel like I've been left out." Yeah, because nothing says left out like being invited to a baby shower with 6 months' notice. As the drama unfolded, my husband Tom was my rock, calm and collected amidst the chaos. He stood up to Barbara, making it clear that her behavior was unacceptable and that she needed to get her own support system before she continued to disrupt ours. I mean, talk about a knight in shining armor. My husband Tom and I decided to wait until after the first trimester to share our exciting news with everyone. We were thrilled to be expecting, but we wanted to make sure the little bun in the oven was safely nestled in before we started party planning. It was a completely normal decision, right? Well, apparently not in the eyes of Barbara, who took this completely normal decision as a personal attack on her grandmotherly rights. It was a moment I'll never forget. The day we broke the news to Barbara that we were expecting a baby. I was expecting a mix of excitement and congratulations. But what I got was a side-eye that could freeze water at 50 yards and a tongue lashing that left me speechless. "You should have told me first," she said, her voice dripping with hurt. "I feel like I've been left out." Yeah, because nothing says left out like being invited to a baby shower with 6 months' notice. As the drama unfolded, my husband Tom was my rock, calm and collected amidst the chaos. He stood up to Barbara, making it clear that her behavior was unacceptable and that she needed to get her own support system before she continued to disrupt ours. I mean, talk about a knight in shining armor. Let me tell you, those first 12 weeks of keeping our little secret were pure bliss compared to what happened after we told Barbara. But before I dive into this absolutely insane story, you might want to grab some snacks and get comfortable. This baby shower tale has more twists and turns than a soap opera marathon. The day started perfectly. I mean, Pinterest-worthy perfect. We had these gorgeous pink and blue decorations floating everywhere, the most delicious cupcakes you've ever seen, and all my closest friends were there to celebrate our little bundle of joy. Then Barbara walked in, and I swear the temperature in the room dropped 10 degrees. Oh, I suppose I should be grateful to even be invited, considering I was the last to know about this pregnancy. That was just the beginning. She made sure to tell every single guest how she'd been left out of the pregnancy announcement. I'm talking full-on theatrical performance here, complete with dramatic sighs and hand-over-heart gestures. But things really took a turn when Barbara discovered the open bar. Now I know what you're thinking. Who puts an open bar at a baby shower? Well, we had some non-pregnant guests who we wanted to enjoy themselves. Big mistake. Huge. 3 glasses of champagne later, Barbara decided to play what I like to call Name That Baby, a game that absolutely nobody asked for or wanted to participate in. She started going around the room, telling everyone about the family names she'd picked out, completely ignoring the fact that, the actual parents might want to name their own child. But the real breaking point? Picture this. My tipsy mother-in-law standing on a chair, yes, an actual chair, announcing to everyone that she'd already ordered monogrammed baby items with the name she chose. Without asking us, without even considering that we might have our own plans. I mean, who does that? So there I was, 29 weeks pregnant, watching my mother-in-law turn my baby shower into her own personal circus. And let me tell you, pregnancy hormones and crazy mother-in-law behavior do not mix well. I did something I never thought I'd have to do at my own baby shower. I called the police. Yes, you heard that right. I had to have law enforcement escort my mother-in-law out of my baby shower. Not exactly the Kodak moment I was planning to put in the baby book. The aftermath was intense. We're talking 72 missed calls, about 100 text messages ranging from angry to tearfully apologetic, and countless flying monkeys, aka family members, trying to convince us that we were being too harsh on poor Barbara. I still get chills thinking about it. The day my mother-in-law decided to unleash her inner mama bear at my baby shower. It's like she had a PhD in mother-in-law drama and decided to put her skills to the test. Okay, so I had this beautiful, Pinterest, perfect baby shower planned out. We had gorgeous decorations, the most delicious cupcakes you've ever tasted, and all my closest friends were there to celebrate our little bundle of joy. It was going to be a day of love, laughter, and maybe a few awkward mom jokes. But then Barbara walked in, and let's just say the atmosphere in the room shifted faster than a soccer mom on the field. I mean, who needs a scoreboard when you've got Barbara's side eye? The queen of drama herself started telling every single guest about how she'd been left out of the pregnancy announcement. Every single guest. I swear it was like she was auditioning for a role in a soap opera. Now I know what you're thinking. Why didn't she just calm down and enjoy the baby shower? Well, my friend, Barbara doesn't do calm like a Zen master does meditation. She does drama like a pop star does diva. And then the open bar happened. Don't get me wrong, I love a good champagne toast as much as the next person. But Barbara decided to take it to the next level. I mean, who needs a reason to party when you've got a free bar? 3 glasses of champagne and Barbara was swinging from the chandeliers, proclaiming her own name for our baby to everyone in the room. I swear, it was like she was trying to outdo the hosts of The Real Housewives. But the pièce de résistance? Barbara decided to announce that she'd already ordered monogrammed baby items with the name she chose, without asking us. Without even considering that we might have our own plans. I mean, who does that? Only Barbara, folks. If I had $1 for every time she ruined my baby shower with her antics, I'd be a rich woman by now. But in all seriousness, it was a tough moment. But Tom and I made it through, and that's all that matters. But you know what? My husband Tom was absolutely amazing through all of this. He finally put his foot down with his mom, making it clear that her behavior was completely unacceptable. Talk about a knight in shining armor. So, the moral of the story is, if you ever find yourself in a situation where your mother-in-law goes full mama bear mode, just remember, you're not alone, and it will be worth it in the end. Sometimes in life, you have to make tough choices. For us, that meant going drama-free and Barbara-less for the remainder of my pregnancy. And honestly, best decision ever. It's been a few months since that infamous baby shower where my mom completely lost it. I'm starting to think that I should have gotten her a calming aid or a therapy session under the guise of a fun gift, instead of a cute onesie for the upcoming baby. Fast forward to today, and it's been an absolute joke watching her walk around with a "I'm the queen of baby showers" t-shirt in the neighborhood. What started as an embarrassing one-time incident, aka that time I turned into a human meme, has turned into a recurring inside joke that I'm both amazed and mortified by. One of the most hilarious moments was when she tried to relive the excitement of that party at the next family gathering by bursting into a rendition of Happy Birthday, but replacing the lyrics with Happy Baby Shower, much to everyone's cringing delight. Of course, my grandma swears that it still has its place and that we all just need to learn to appreciate the chaos. Life after the baby shower blowout has become a constant stream of laughter and raised eyebrows. I guess you could say that my mom's infamous outburst has turned us into a dysfunctional family comedy, all thanks to her refusal to stop milking the drama. Love her or roll your eyes at her, one thing's for sure. This is a chapter in our lives that we'll all look back on for years to come, smiling knowingly at the ridiculousness of it all. I know I'm not alone in this whole crazy mother-in-law situation. If you've got your own wild stories, drop them in the comments below. Maybe we should start a support group. Survivors of Mother-in-Law Drama has a nice ring to it, don't you think? Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell, because trust me, I've got plenty more family drama stories coming your way. Barbara is just the tip of the iceberg, folks. And if you thought this was wild, wait until you hear about the time Barbara tried to crash our wedding ceremony dressed in a white gown. That video is linked in the description below, and believe me, it's another story you won't want to miss. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, sometimes the craziest moments in life make the best stories. Stay tuned for more adventures in my world of family drama. See you in the next video.
The shocking truth behind my wife's deception. Picture this. You're sitting in your living room, surrounded by family, when your spouse of 5 years suddenly accuses you of something that makes your heart stop. That's exactly what happened to me last month. And trust me, what I'm about to share with you isn't just another relationship drama. It's a story that completely shattered my world. But here's the thing. My wife's accusation? That was just the beginning. What happened next left our entire family speechless and revealed a truth so devastating that it changed everything. Picture this. You're sitting in your living room, surrounded by family, when your spouse of 5 years suddenly accuses you of something that makes your heart stop. Well, that's not exactly what happened to me. What did happen was my wife accosted me with a bunch of false accusations that left me wondering if I'd suddenly grown eyeballs in the back of my head. I know, it sounds like just another drama-filled relationship story, but trust me, it's about to get a lot more interesting. Think of this like a tabloid headline. Husband accused of cheating, wife's pregnancy reveals bigger scandal. Only instead of a skimpy swimsuit-clad photo shoot, I get to share with you the real story. But let's start with the basics, or what I thought was the basics. My wife, Sarah, and I were the poster couple for relationships. We had the perfect house, the dreamy weekend getaways, and the awkward dance parties in our kitchen. Just kidding, those were actually kind of fun. Everyone assumed we were the epitome of a picture-perfect marriage. Little did they know. Setting the stage, our perfect life before everything fell apart. Hey everyone, I'm Jake, and before I dive into this absolute roller coaster of a story, make sure you hit that subscribe button because trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. You see, my wife Sarah and I were what everyone called the perfect couple. High school sweethearts, married for 5 years, living in our dream house in the suburbs. You know, the type of relationship everyone envies on social media. We had our morning coffee routine, weekend hiking adventures, and those silly dance parties in our kitchen. Everything seemed perfect. But last month, things started feeling off. Sarah began acting strange. She was constantly checking her phone, working late hours, and being weirdly secretive about the smallest things. At first, I brushed it off. We all go through phases, right? Then came that day. Sarah called everyone, both our families, for what she described as an important announcement. Looking back, I should have noticed how rehearsed it all felt. The way she arranged everyone in our living room, how she kept fidgeting with her wedding ring. If only I knew what was coming. Let's face it, I was living the dream. My wife, Rachel, was a stunning beauty, with a mane of curly locks and a smile that could light up a room. I, on the other hand, was a dashing hubby, with a stable job and a six-pack. Okay, maybe not a six-pack, but I like to think I tried to have one. We were the power couple that everyone aspired to be. Our social media feeds were filled with Instagram-perfect shots of our picturesque home, our adorable pups, and our exotic vacations. We were the epitome of a nuclear family, complete with a white picket fence and a couple of mini-me's on the horizon. Rachel was a busy career woman, working as a successful marketing executive, while I was a happy-go-lucky CEO. Yes, I did have to Google what that stood for. Chief Excuse Officer. Our weekends were filled with lazy Sunday brunches, Game of Thrones marathons, and of course, romantic getaways to bed and breakfasts. We were the A-team of life, smart, capable, and always on top of things. We had the perfect life, the perfect home, and the perfect doggy daycare today luxury lifestyle balance. Our friends and family would often comment, "You guys are the definition of a happy couple." Rachel and I would just exchange a knowing glance, and I'd mouth the phrase, "not a chance." Just kidding, she was always smiling. Our life was a perpetual match made in heaven. At least, that's what we thought. But as the old adage goes, behind every great man, there's a smiling wife holding back a bombshell. Picture our living room. My parents on the couch, her family scattered around, and Sarah standing in the middle, tears streaming down her face. That's when she dropped the first bomb. She accused me of having an affair with my co-worker, Jennifer. I can still see my mom's face crumbling, my dad's disappointed look, and this strange expression on Sarah's sister Emma's face. You know that look someone has when they know something they're not supposed to know. Yeah, that one. But wait, it gets better, or worse, depending on how you look at it. Just as everyone was processing the cheating accusation, Sarah announced she was 3 months pregnant. Talk about emotional whiplash. There I was trying to defend myself against false accusations while simultaneously processing the fact that I was going to be a father. And then came the moment that changed everything. Emma, who had been unusually quiet, suddenly stood up. Her hands were shaking as she pulled out her phone. "I can't let this go on," she said. And right there, in front of everyone, she revealed screenshots, photos, and hotel receipts showing that Sarah had been meeting her ex-boyfriend Mike at the Sunset Hotel every Thursday for the past 4 months. The room exploded into chaos. Sarah tried to deny it at first, but the evidence was overwhelming. Finally, she broke down and confessed everything. The affair, the elaborate scheme to accuse me first, and the worst part, she wasn't sure who the baby's father was. You know what's really messed up? 2 months ago, we filmed this beautiful video of us discovering the positive pregnancy test. We were so happy, so excited about our future. Now that video feels like a knife to the heart. Well, this is a doozy. I'm still trying to process how my wife managed to fake a cheating scandal and then drop a life-changing bombshell on our family. It's like she took every worst-case scenario from our soap operas and mashed them all together with a side of stress-induced gray hairs. It all started when Samantha, my lovably dramatic wife, began acting strange. At first, I thought she was just stressed from work, but little did I know, she was secretly planning the most epic heist I've ever seen. Or so I thought. In reality, she was trying to cover up her own secrets. Chapter 1. The Great Cheating Scandal. We all know the stereotype of the cheating spouse: dodgy emails, secretive phone calls, and furtive glances. Samantha, being the jokester that she is, decided to play it up, big time. I mean, who else but her would stop at a billboard on the side of the road with a rather incriminating photo? She whipped out her old phone, scrolled through an ex's social media, and voila, instant cheating scandal. The hilarious part? She then proceeded to ask me if I'd ever felt like I wanted to check her phone. More on that later. My eyes should have given it away. A mixture of confusion, amusement, and serious skepticism. Chapter 2. A shocking reveal. As our friend's cheating reveal party wore on, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. That was, of course, until Samantha walked in with a giant suitcase, because why not? And spilled tea that would give even the most skilled gossip anchors a run for their money. It turns out, her trust fund from her great-aunt Mildred's demise was actually much larger than we'd ever imagined. And if I recall correctly, this revelation was wrapped in a whole lot of sarcasm and an evil grin. This mind-blowing bombshell put our entire world on tilt. And in that exact moment, I realized that nothing was as it seemed. Or was it? At first, I couldn't help but crumble into a fit of laughter. But after that initial adrenaline rush wore off, it was time to get real again. All the late-night conversations with the guys, our clandestine visits to couples therapy, and ill-fated marriage jokes. All of it made sense. Or so I thought. As humor was repositioned to empathy and comfort, I soon realized that some relationships need fine-tuning, regardless of whatever drama arises. So, what did I learn from this extraordinary tale? Well, it's quite simple. No matter how wild and unpredictable life gets, there are secrets, lessons, and love to discover in almost every moment. Even when trust fractures, there's still hope to mend it. I never thought I'd say this, but my wife's catastrophic decision to fake a cheating scandal has turned out to be the best worst thing that's ever happened to our family. Sure, there was the temporary media frenzy, the awkward family gatherings, and the occasional wondering if we'd ever be able to show our faces in public again. But let's be real, it's also put our marriage in therapy, our friendships to the test, and our reality TV stars in awe-inspiring futility and angst. As for me, I've learned to adopt a live life like it's social misery, with extra garnish, 2.0 policy, when navigating our new altered reality. With my best advice of fake it till you make it, then pretend you're actually perfect until someone snitches you for lying, I have basically mastered the ultimate coping mechanism. What's underscore next for us? Who knows? Hell, by now, I just assume I'll fail, but in the meantime, enjoy this crazy circus. Ultimately, when life gives you a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to squabble over online trolls and an emergency of trust, get your lawyers at the ready. As they say, we may not be ready, but we are eager. Please someone start selling t-shirts. I'm sharing this story not for sympathy or drama, but because I know there are others out there going through similar situations. Sometimes the people we trust the most can surprise us in the worst ways possible. Right now, I'm focusing on healing and preparing for what comes next. The paternity test results come in next month, and regardless of what they say, I've learned that life has a way of testing us in the most unexpected ways. If you've been through something similar or just want to share your thoughts, drop a comment below. Your support and stories mean everything, and they remind me that I'm not alone in this journey. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be updating you all next week about the paternity test results. And if you want to see the warning signs I missed, check out my video about red flags in relationships. The link is in the description below. Remember, sometimes the end of one chapter is just the beginning of a better one. Stay strong, stay true to yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.
Am I wrong here for telling my coworker why customers might not like her? Have you ever been sitting at a restaurant just trying to enjoy your meal in peace, when suddenly your server hits you with that overly sweet, "What can I get for you, honey?" followed by a 20-minute story about their grandmother's secret recipe? Well, buckle up, Buttercup. Wait, maybe I shouldn't say that after this story. Because today, I'm sharing how I might have started a small civil war at my restaurant between Northern efficiency and Southern hospitality. What's up, everyone? If you're new here, I'm all about sharing the wild, weird, and sometimes uncomfortable moments from my life as a server. And boy, do I have a story for you today. So we recently got this new coworker, let's call her Georgia, because, well, that's where she's from, who moved up here for college. Now, Georgia brought with her enough Southern charm to fill a sweet tea swimming pool. We're talking honey this, sweetie that, and enough small talk to fill a Thanksgiving dinner conversation. Now, don't get me wrong, I appreciate good customer service as much as the next person. But there's a fine line between being friendly and, well, making your customers want to hide under the table. Picture this. You're a busy professional on your lunch break, trying to quickly order your food when suddenly you're hit with, "What can I get for you today, sugar pie honey bunch?" Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you get the point. The thing is, up here, calling strangers pet names isn't exactly everyone's cup of tea, or sweet tea, if you will. In fact, one customer actually snapped at Georgia, yelling, Don't call me that," when she dropped another honey bomb. I have to admit, when Georgia, my Southern coworker, first started calling me sweetie and honey every 5 seconds, I thought it was cute. I mean, who doesn't love a good old-fashioned charm, right? But then the pet names started rolling in nonstop, and I began to feel like I was trapped in a never-ending episode of Days of Our Lives. Let me paint a picture. I'm trying to take orders, balance multiple tables at once, and Georgia comes by and starts calling me honey bunch while I'm trying to remember if we have any avocado toast left. I'm like, yes, we have avocado toast, honey. And she's like, "Oh, okay, sugar." And I'm just standing there thinking, is this what they mean by Southern hospitality? Because if so, I'm starting to think Northerners are allergic to affection. But the problem is, up here, we're a simple, direct people. We don't sugarcoat things, we get to the point. And when Georgia comes along and starts spraying us with honey, it's like a culture clash explosion in the kitchen. It's like trying to have a quick conversation with someone who's silently watching a soap opera in the background. One time, I had to politely tell a customer that their burger was taking a while because we were short-staffed. And just as I was about to finish my sentence, Georgia rushes over and calls the customer sugar pie while telling him about her aunt's award-winning chili recipe. I'm just standing there thinking, this is the wrong room. Georgia, this is the break room. But no, she just keeps on sugaring our customers. It's a delicate balance, folks. I get it, good customer service is key, but there's a fine line between being friendly and being overbearing. And from where I'm standing, Georgia is crossing that line more often than a Harry Palmer movie. But hey, maybe I'm just allergic to honey now. Let me paint you another picture. Table 7 needs their check. Table 12 is still waiting for their drinks. Table 4 needs extra napkins. But where's Georgia? Oh, she's still at table 9, telling them about her mama's famous peach cobbler recipe. Management has had to pull her aside multiple times about this. Like, multiple times. We're talking more comebacks than a Justin Timberlake reunion tour. You know, Table 7's been waiting for their check for what feels like an eternity. I'm pretty sure if I watch the clock spin another 2 seconds, I'll get a notification telling me it's been too long. Meanwhile, Georgia is still going strong at Table 9, regaling them with tales of her aunt's farm-fresh eggs. I swear that woman's brought a windmill with her from the south, the one that's always spinning, long after everyone else has given up and gone home. As I stand here, juggling a tray of drinks, trying to sneak a glance at the clock without Georgia noticing, it's currently displaying the time in an exaggerated, big government bureaucratic way, complete with a cartoon coffee cup just to give me an extra kick of determination. I'm struck by how surreal this whole situation feels. Table 12 is sending me pitiful pleas for their drinks to arrive already, while Table 4 is losing their patience, rightfully, I might add, with one too many forgotten napkins. Just then, Georgia's angelic voice drifts back to me. Honey, you gotta try my mama's peach cobbler. It's the best thing you've ever tasted. Audience cringes in solidarity. Sorry, where was I? Yes. I remember now. How to not lose my mind, courtesy of watching Georgia thrive in a different century. Simply put, patience, people, who still have hopes of getting served in this century. That's the kind of understanding I bring to the table. Good understanding. Here's where things get interesting. Georgia started noticing her tips weren't exactly rolling in like she expected. Her theory? People are discriminating against her accent. But here's the tea, and I mean the unsweetened kind. When you're spending 15 minutes chatting about the weather with Table 3, Tables 4 through 8 are sitting there wondering if their food is coming from another state. I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy, but I've been pondering this question lately. Am I wrong for telling my coworker why customers might not be digging her? It all started when I overheard Sally complaining about a table service experience she had with one of our more adventurous staff members. Let's just say Sally isn't the biggest fan of when her server decides to get creative with her drink order. But here's the thing. As a somewhat judgmental observer, I couldn't help but think that maybe, just maybe, our server was more trying to be friendly than annoy the living daylights out of customers. I mean, who hasn't ever made a silly hand gesture or added an extra joke to a billfold? Anyway, I mustered up the courage to casually mention my theory to the said server, aka my coworker. My reasoning was that if we're trying to provide amazing customer service, we should maybe, just maybe, realize that people have varying levels of humor and patience. My coworker wasn't too thrilled with my theories, but I'm pretty sure it's just because I had to hyperventilate. That's coworker speak for nervously laugh while trying to explain a complex service philosophy. Either way, I hope I wasn't wrong for pointing out that sometimes customers just need a little humility and understanding. What do you folks think? Am I a hero or a jerk for sharing my 2 cents on this matter? So Georgia comes to me asking for advice about her tips. And me, being the honest and admittedly stressed person I am, decided to serve her a plate of truth. Maybe without the usual side of sugar. I told her that maybe, just maybe, the pet names and lengthy conversations weren't working in her favor. That up here, efficiency and respecting personal space are kind of our love language. Her response? I'm not gonna start being rude to customers. Y'all, There's a difference between being rude and understanding that some people just want to eat their burger in peace. All right, let's set the stage. I'm still trying to balance trays of drinks and food, while my coworker Georgia is over there dripping honey like a Kentucky Derby's winner. And I'm just thinking, girl, you've got to stop being so sweet to customers, that is. Finally, Georgia comes to me, looking like she's about to be crowned queen of the Sweet Tea Festival. She asks for my advice on how to boost her tips, and I, being the considerate and apparently also the blunt-talking coworker I am, decide to dish out a healthy dose of truth. Here's how the conversation went down. Georgia floats over to me, all syrupy and sweet, and says, "Hey, can you give me some advice on why my tips aren't so great?" I take a deep breath, thinking to myself, okay, be gentle, be kind, be a tiny bit less blunt. But then I remember that I'm trying to be helpful, not a pastry chef. I told Georgia that maybe, just maybe, all the pet names and lengthy conversations weren't working in her favor. I mean, we're in the North here, not Tennessee. I explained that we value efficiency and personal space. Think of it as our love language, but, with more coffee. And then, disaster. Her response was something you wouldn't expect. I'm not to start being rude to customers. Yeah, because being rude and being honest about your service style are basically synonymous, right? The facepalm heard round the world. You know that feeling when you realize you've just stuck your hand in a beehive and they're all mad at you? That's me. I'm still over here trying to take orders, and Georgia's all mad at me because I didn't give her the sugar she's so used to. I'm like, girl, I'm not the coach of a high school football team. I'm trying to help you get better. Rewind, please. Now, looking back, I'm not saying I was completely wrong, okay? Who am I kidding? I just wish I could have found a way to break the news to Georgia that wouldn't involve a straight-up war. Maybe something like, "Hey, honey, I think we need to tweak our service style to better fit our customers' tastes." Get it? Tastes? Like the kind your mama used to make? Something, anything, that wouldn't cause a sweet tooth riot in the break room. Look, I get it. Different regions, different customs. In the South, this level of friendliness might be as expected as college football rivalries. But up here, we're more like a quick-paced New York Minute kind of crowd. The thing is, good service isn't one size fits all. It's about reading the room, or in this case, reading the table. When I'm navigating the complex landscape of cultural differences in the office, I like to think I'm a bit of a master of ceremonies, minus the top hat and fancy gloves. But let's be real, I'm often just winging it, trying not to step on any toes while avoiding a catastrophe. Working with globally diverse teams can be a beautiful thing, but it also means we're all speaking slightly different languages, or at least using different dialects of awkward office small talk. Sometimes, it feels like we're all just trying to figure out which way to orient ourselves in the cultural navigation chart that is our company's expectations. People will often tell me, be more understanding or just be more sensitive to other cultures. But honestly, have you tried to Google how to be more culturally sensitive in 30 seconds while simultaneously avoiding making eye contact with Bob from HR? It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded while being attacked by a swarm of bees. So here's what I've learned so far. Embracing the cultural crossroads means embracing the chaos and the occasional accidentally offended coworker or two. Or 10. It means taking a deep breath and saying, "Sorry, Sophia from marketing. I'm still learning to navigate your Polish sense of humor." It means putting on my best diplomatic smile and hoping that Anna from accounting doesn't think I'm mocking the British charm that I've so lovingly ascribed to her. So here I am, with a coworker who's giving me the cold shoulder. Ironic, considering all the warmth she brings to her tables, wondering if I should have sugar-coated my feedback a bit more. What do you think? Was I wrong for being straight up with her? Have you ever experienced culture clash at work? Drop your stories in the comments below. I know some of you have some wild ones. And hey, if you enjoyed this slice of restaurant drama, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more stories where this came from. Speaking of wild customer stories, check out my video about the time someone tried to pay their bill with Monopoly money. Yes, really, link is in the description. Until next time, stay hungry for more stories, but maybe ease up on the pet names with strangers.
Am I wrong here for getting engaged after my brother's wedding? What's up, everyone? You won't believe the family drama I'm about to share with you today. Picture this. You're standing at the Grand Canyon, one of the most breathtaking places on Earth, your heart racing from just getting engaged to the love of your life. And then bam, your own brother hits you with, "How dare you steal our thunder?" Oh yeah, we're going there today. We're diving deep into some seriously juicy family drama that's going to make you question everything you thought you knew about wedding etiquette and family relationships. Hey there, drama lovers. I hope you're ready because today's story has more plot twists than your favorite Netflix series. We're talking about a gorgeous destination wedding, a surprise proposal that apparently rocked the boat, and family members who are now giving each other the silent treatment faster than you can say, "I do." In this corner, we have the newlyweds, my brother and his new wife, fresh from their dose. And in this corner, we have yours truly and my now fiancé, apparently causing chaos by Check's notes getting engaged at the Grand Canyon. But before we dive into this mess, drop a comment below if you've ever witnessed or experienced wedding drama. Trust me, after hearing my story, you'll either feel way better about your family situations or have some wild stories of your own to share. Quick disclaimer, we're going to examine this situation from all angles, throw in some laughs because honestly, sometimes you just have to laugh, and maybe learn something about family dynamics along the way. Welcome to the most predictable yet amazing wedding disaster story of the year. You know, the classic brother gets engaged at the same location as his wedding mix-up. I mean, it's not every day you get to join the club of people who have accidentally triggered their brother's greatest fear, being upstaged by a more vibrant and exciting engagement than his own. I'm your host, a drama-loving, expert wedding etiquette disregarding, newly engaged individual. Yes, you read that right, a whole 100 miles from my brother's wedding. Don't at me. And I'm here today to take you on a wild ride of wedding shenanigans, familial feuds, and completely not overreacting brothers who apparently forgot the phrase, happiness is a state of mind. So why not add to it? A beautiful wedding, a bigger engagement. Picture a beautiful destination wedding with an intimate gathering of just 15 guests. So basically a slumber party, but with more tears of joy and less pillow fights. The sun was shining, the flowers were blooming, and my brother was exchanging vows with his beautiful bride. It was a moment so perfect that you'd think the photographer would be taking engagement proposal shots of my boyfriend and me right behind him. But nope, fate decided to take a different route. Probably because, I'm already a bit of an overachiever. So before we get started, I need some opinions. Have you ever witnessed or experienced wedding drama that would put my drama-filled engagement story to shame? Tell me your worst, most epic wedding fail stories in the comments below. I'm all ears, and also using my hands, fingers crossed. So let's start at the beginning. My brother and his now wife planned this gorgeous destination wedding. We're talking intimate vibes, just 15 people total, basically smaller than most people's group chats. The ceremony was beautiful, everyone was crying happy tears, and everything went off without a hitch. Now, here's where it gets interesting. After the wedding, when everyone else headed home, my fiancé now, and I decided to extend our trip. I mean, when you're already in Arizona, why not explore a bit, right? That's just basic vacation economics. So there we were at the Grand Canyon, one of the world's most magnificent natural wonders. The sun was setting, painting the sky in these incredible colors, and suddenly, my boyfriend gets down on one knee. Let me tell you, when someone proposes at the Grand Canyon, they're either really romantic or really committed to having a dramatic backdrop for Instagram. In our case, it was definitely the former. I mean, he literally proposed at one of the world's biggest holes in the ground. And I say that with all the love in my heart because it was absolutely perfect. But then came the moment of truth, sharing our happy news with the family. You know that moment in horror movies when someone's about to open a door and you're screaming, "Don't do it," at the TV? Yeah, it was kind of like that. Hey, amazing news. We got engaged at the Grand Canyon. And that's when all hell broke loose. My brother responded with the kind of hostility usually reserved for people who say they don't like pizza. Apparently, getting engaged within a 100-mile radius of someone's wedding location is now considered an act of war. I'm still trying to process how. My simple text to the family about our engagement turned into a full-blown hostage situation. I mean, I've heard of families with a lot of character, but this is taking it to a whole new level. So, I hit send on the text and waited for the floodgates to open. And open they did. My brother's response was like a tiny earthquake, shaking the very foundations of our relationship. It's basically a whole language of passive-aggressive emojis, like the sad face emoji, which roughly translates to "I'm silently seething with rage, apparently. Our engagement is an intimate invasion of his special day." I mean, who needs a beachside proposal or a fancy dinner proposal when you can do it right on his wedding reception dance floor? I swear, I've seen more romance in a middle school cafeteria. Newsflash, we're not trying to steal the spotlight. We're just following the natural progression of relationships. You know, where you meet your partner, propose to them, and then have to deal with relatives who have mental health issues. And then there's my SIL, who's been MIA since we dropped the engagement bombshell. I sent her an apologetic text, explaining we didn't mean to cause any drama or steal the thunder, again, not our style. But still, she's maintaining radio silence on a level that's making me wonder if she's secretly an actor on a new soap opera. Now, I'm not one to rub salt in wounds or fan the flames, but someone's been taking the phrase, "don't be bitter," a little too far. It's been days since my brother's epic Facebook rant, and the response has been deafening. It's like the tongue-tied team has been working overtime to come up with clever comebacks. I wonder if they're expecting me to be like, "Oh, sorry bro, we didn't mean to take away the spotlight. Can I give it back now?" Heck, I'll just FedEx it back to them like it's a broken VHS tape. And then there's my new SIL, sister-in-law for those not fluent in wedding acronyms. She went from "welcome to the family" to complete radio silence faster than your internet connection drops during an important Zoom meeting. I immediately sent her an apology text, explaining that we weren't trying to steal anyone's spotlight. I mean, there's enough happiness to go around, right? It's not like joy is a limited resource like PS5s at launch. I'm starting to think that my new SIL has been taking a silent but deadly course in college. I mean, she went from warmly welcoming me to the family to complete radio silence faster than my internet connection drops when I try to stream my big fat Greek wedding during prime time. I immediately sent her an apology text, trying to avoid any more drama. "Sister, sorry for the engagement bombshell. We weren't trying to upstage your in-laws or crash the party. Even though, let's be real, our proposal at the Grand Canyon might have been slightly more impressive than your brother's quiet vows in a quaint town in Arizona. It's like I said, there's enough happiness to go around, right?" But my text just slid into her read pile like a Facebook comment from your aunt about her cat's latest haircut. I'm starting to wonder if she thinks I'm secretly a ninja warrior, sneaking up on her wedding date with a surprise announcement of my engagement. Newsflash, we're not that exciting, at least not yet. Since she hasn't responded, I've taken to sending her an annual birthday text, multiple years' worth of holiday messages, and even a discreet Facebook comment about my favorite recipe for pumpkin pie. All in the hopes of reviving our relationship. Guess who's still not tweeting? But here's where it gets even better. My brother doubled down harder than a blackjack player with a good hand. According to him, the timing and location were hurtful. Apparently, the entire state of Arizona is now off limits for major life events. I didn't get that memo. Did you get that memo? I must have missed the chapter about the mandatory waiting period between weddings and engagements. Is it like swimming? Do we need to wait 30 minutes after a wedding before anyone else can get engaged? I'm getting married, and I'm not even the one with the harebrained scheme. That distinction belongs to my brother. The fact that he just got hitched didn't deter us from setting the wheels in motion for our own union. We're talking till death do us part, all while he's still figuring out what till death do us part means. Fast forward to my epic relationship drama. When I proposed to Jen, the look on her face could have frozen water at minus 220 degrees Celsius. She had a mix of grief and horror painted all over her beautiful mug. It was like watching a Twilight movie, minus the sparkles and hot guys in vampire gear. She claimed we needed to slow things down, that I was rushing into the future like a gazelle at a zoo stampede. That's when it dawned on me. These are the in-laws we're talking about here. We're in the Kardashian family business, marrying quick and breaking up quicker. All right, let's get real for a second. Getting engaged at the Grand Canyon after attending a wedding isn't stealing thunder. It's just living life. If we had to schedule our happiness around everyone else's calendar, we'd all be waiting until the year 3000 to celebrate anything. What do you think? Drop a smile or frown in the comments if you think my brother and sister-in-law are overreacting, or an engagement ring if you think we should have waited longer. I want to hear your thoughts on this. And hey, if you enjoyed this family drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button faster than my brother jumped to conclusions. Don't forget to ring that bell. Trust me, with my family, there's plenty more where this came from. Oh, and if you think this story was wild, check out my previous video about destination wedding disasters. This wouldn't even make the top 10. Link in the description below.